Hello everybody, how's it going? Sam here to do a review on Bleach chapter 684. Now I know how this is, with this chapter we've only got one chapter left. The Bleach is ending on 685. Now I don't really want to dive too much into that, so stay tuned because I will be releasing a video all about, just the ending of Bleach, my thoughts and feelings and all that kind of stuff, either today or tomorrow. So let's dive straight into this chapter. Before we actually start, I want to give props. Now, I know a lot of people from the ending of Bleach, a lot of people, they've been like bashing it and saying, oh, the next couple of chapters are going to be rushed and all that kind of stuff. I'm not with that. I'm not about that. No, I think this chapter, in fact, was actually amazing considering the amount of pressure Kubo has in these next two chapters, in these final chapters. The amount of things he needs to deliver on. He's done a good job in my opinion. So let's actually get straight into this chapter. I loved this chapter because it was just so hype, especially with the original Zangetsu coming in and just Yhwach finally being defeated. With this being rushed, this has been an amazing last fight between Ichigo and Yhwach. The way Yhwach got defeated, in my opinion, was great. I didn't see it happening any better, to be honest. If you think about how broken Yhwach actually is, could you have theorized another way of Yhwach actually facing his defeat, especially without the likes of people like Aizen and Uryu? So, I love this chapter. Now let's get into the gripes of it. So, I know there's a lot of things people want to explain. Now, before I talk about stuff with like the original Zangetsu and all that, I'm going to talk about Aizen for a second. Now, Aizen in this chapter was just glorious. I want to confirm that Aizen is not dead in this chapter, because when you do see him get consumed by the blackness in the next page afterwards, you kind of see him being like trapped in it. So I don't think Aizen's dead. Kubo won't do that to Aizen Sama. Like, we've already faced enough tragedy enough. Come on. He killed Chair Sama. He cannot kill the main, choking as well. So Aizen's gonna be fine. I don't think he was dead by that. He was just immobilized. And Yhwach can't kill Aizen. Like, come on now. He can't. Aizen just can't die, man. Even if Kubo himself tried to kill Aizen, it's not gonna happen because Aizen would, deal with Kubo first. So, with Uryu coming in with the silver arrow. Now, I do understand how a lot of people are saying that's an arseable, but to a degree it is. I would say it would have been better with, foreshadowing, but it is what it is. And now why I like this whole essence of this, the silver arrow, it was because there was nothing else. Like, honestly, this seemed like the only thing. If it was foreshadowed, that would have been really good for a device to take out Yhwach. But since it kind of seems like an arseable, like it got pulled out of nowhere. But either way, it is what it is, and I did like the execution of it. That panel of Yhwach, when you see the arrow going through him and the silver coming over his chest, was just haunting. Like his eyes and everything, and you see the darkness gone off him. It was just amazing. It was so hype. Now, the reason why I'm saying how I'm not feeling that bad about the whole arseable of the silver arrow is because of Haschwalth. And I love what Kubo done. The foreshadowing what Kubo done on a couple of chapters back, when Ichigo, the original Zangetsu, came in and just striked down Yhwach. We all thought it was a dream. We had no clue. Everyone was just like, wait, what's going on? Why is Ichigo wearing his normal Shihakusho and all that kind of stuff? That was beautiful. The foreshadowing in that was exemplary. Because we had no clue what was happening. Now, I made a video the other day explaining Ichigo's powers right now, and that theory, it seems to be credited and it seems to be true. I'll drop it either in the description below or I'll put it like as an info card on this screen right now. Now, what I said in the video, basically explaining how Ichigo's powers works right now due to how Yhwach took away the Quincy and Hollow abilities from him. In this chapter, we see Ichigo using the original Zangetsu, because this is true. This makes total sense right now. Okay. Now, when Ichigo forged his Sanpakutos, he forged his Sanpakutos into two. And now, both of them, he forged them into a Sanpakuto which basically amalgamated all his combination of powers. His Quincy, his Hollow, the Fullbring, all of that kind of stuff. All of that was forged into one Sanpakuto, into like Sanpakuto where he can use all his abilities. So if you think about it, that's not a true Shinigami blade. That's not what a Sanpakuto actually is. This was just Ichigo's the exception, and he was able to forge all his abilities into a sword. That's why Uetsu was just like to Ichigo, you need to know your own past, you need to know everything about yourself so you can create an Asauchi and, forge your blade. So, this Bunkai that we saw a couple of chapters ago, that Bunkai is the amalgamation of the Hollow, the Quincy, the Fullbring, each and every ability and power within Ichigo forged into a sword. That's what Ichigo's Bunkai was. That's what his Sunbutt Tails and his newly forged Sunbutt Tails are. So when we see in this chapter, we see the original Zangetsu. That is Ichigo's Shinigami powers. That's just Ichigo 100% unblocked, unfused, unmixed, unmashed. That is just Ichigo 100% Shinigami powers, and that makes sense because throughout the start of Bleach, when we found out in the I believe Bleach chapter 540 or 543, when Old Man Zangetsu, which was Yhwach from 1,000 years ago, the Quincy being within Ichigo, when he said, "I've been blocking your power. I've been blocking your power from now." What Yhwach, what Old Man Zangetsu, the Quincy man, what he was doing was blocking away Ichigo's Soul Reaper powers. And now it's finally coming to be unleashed, and we see in this chapter just the original Zangetsu, no sheath, no guard, just blade. And that is Ichigo's true Shinigami power. So I just wanted to say that out there, and again I'll put my either in the description below or the info card on my theory of Ichigo's powers, which is true. This chapter did confirm it, so please do check it out, that would be awesome. Now, with this chapter as well, Haschwalth, man. Okay, I love Haschwalth's character. Especially, I do love the ending right now to his character. Now, his character could have been done a bit better. I know a lot of people have gripes about, the Haschwalth and Uryu fight. I'm not going to get into the details about that. But the way Haschwalth's character was done in this chapter was amazing because basically he knew that Yhwach was going to die, and he tried to tell Yhwach, but Yhwach just thought it was a dream. Yhwach didn't think it was a glimpse of the future. So when we saw that dream, that's literally what happened. Although obviously the scenarios are a bit different, but it's the same thing. Ichigo with original Getsuga Tensho cutting apart Yhwach and defeating him. So Yhwach saw his own death, but he thought it was a dream. He got cocky. That's why he was just like, oh, it's so wonderful enough it could be a nightmare or something like that. So he didn't see it coming. Haschwalth tried to warn him, but Yhwach didn't take it. Now I really liked what Kubo done with Haschwalth's character, especially with that execution, because first of all it shows you two things. One, that Haschwalth's loyalties are kind of still with Yhwach to the very end, and I explained about that in my previous review, so do check that out as well if you didn't watch that. But also it explains his loyalties and how he's cared for Bazz-B. And that's why I love it so much, because from the start they were kids, they were boys, they were bros. And when he betrayed Bazz-B, everyone was just like, why did he do this? Why did we do this? Now, in my previous review, I said how, from a psychological viewpoint, it was kind of inferred. Like, Kubo basically did imply, he just kind of had to read between the lines. That's why Kubo, he says it himself, he puts a lot of hints within the story, just kind of need to look for those hints. So you can check out my previous review when I state that. So in this chapter, when we see Haschwalth, and it sounds like the way Yhwach saying to Haschwalth, he's kind of saying a little bit of sadness, like a bit of regret, how he regretted what he'd done to Haschwalth. But what I like about it is the fact that Haschwalth stayed loyal to Bazz-B. So you could kind of say, in essence, they still got the job done. They managed to kill Yhwach, even though they'd done it through different ways. Haschwalth still stayed loyal to the code of what Bazz-B and them started out to do. And the whole fact of when Haschwalth killed Bazz-B, he was kind of being loyal because he's just like, I'm killing you because I don't want Yhwach to kill you, kind of thing. That's what I got from this chapter. So, this chapter was amazing. That whole widespread page of seeing Ichigo, Zangetsu was beautiful. You're seeing it was just beautiful, just seeing Zangetsu in its own glory, and just the way even Yhwach just saw, he was just like, Zangetsu, like he didn't see it coming. That was awesome. This chapter was amazing. I really have to give it props. Even in its final chapters, Kubo is not going down without a fight. I just love this chapter, man. The whole structure of it. We see the Bunkai breaking apart, the whole white part, and that obviously does kind of symbolize the Hollow. This is just Shinigami abilities. I want you guys to understand that. And it just looks beautiful. I'm looking at it right now. That whole widespread page is just awesome. That is why I love it. From a Bleach fan standpoint, we started Bleach seeing Ichigo with that sheath. We've been through it with the Soul Society arc, the Aranka arc, all of that, and we're ending it with the original Sanpakuto, with the original Zangetsu. So that's really beautiful. It's kind of Kubo's just tying everything into an end. Now, before I go with it, with the fact of us seeing the original Zangetsu with his full Shinigami abilities, that kind of shows you that when we first saw Ichigo's Bunkai, and he was fighting against Byakuya. That is his Shinigami Bankai, you could say. That's just his Bankai with, you know, like the hollow or the Quincy abilities not being fused with it. That's just his true, pure, 100% Shinigami Bankai. So please, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments below about this chapter. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below about, you know, one chapter left, chapter 685. I believe that's going to be full color chapter. So it will be awesome. I'm just hoping Kubo ties everything together. Now, I know people have a lot of gripes about, you know, everything getting rushed. Stay tuned. I'll be releasing a video today or tomorrow about all of that. I hope you do check it out. So Shinigami-san, if you liked anything that I had to say in this review, please drop a like in the comments below. In the thumbs up thing, and tell me your thoughts below. Let's continue this discussion. Subscribe for Bleach, man. I know I was gonna say subscribe for weekly reviews of Bleach, but as you know, it's ending. Just because Bleach is ending doesn't mean my content about Bleach is ending. I'll still be talking about Bleach. Bleach fanboy from the start. Ichigo is the best. Shinigami-san, peace out, guys. Goodbye.